Well, hello and happy Tuesday. It is September 17th, and welcome to week 3 of the mini catalog projects. We are in day 2 of week 3. This week I am focusing on items from the Autumn Expressions and Splendid Autumn suite of product. I said in my video yesterday that this suite is not available, and it's still not available because the ribbon is not available, but the faux glass dots are back in stock. So again, you can't get the whole suite, but now you can get everything but the ribbon. Also to note that I had talked about in a couple weeks ago, the little peppermints were out of stock. They are back in stock for today. They came back in stock for today. I don't know how long they'll last because they're just super cute, and so they might go fast again. But I did want to let you know that. So Tuesday to September 17th, they are back in stock. So again, I am focusing on this. I'm mainly focusing on using the stamp set, the paper, and the dies. So let's get started on the card for tonight. The card for tonight is Rhonda Wade had showed this on one of her videos, and so I wanted to give it a try. And it's a fun fold, and when you open the card, it pulls that part of the card out. So if you wanted to, you could stick a little debit or a little card in there, or a picture or something. Like I've got a little picture here. You could just stick a little picture in there or a gift card, and then that would hold it, and then when they open it, it pops it right out of there. So I thought that this was a very cute card to make. So we will get started making that. And for the envelope, I just used the stamp to add some little wild wheat on the side. So the first thing that we are going to do, now you'll notice I did this card in Moody Mauve, and I'm using the same picture. They're the same artwork, but I'm going to use a different color. This time I'm going to use Azure Afternoon because I like the really rich blues in this. So I'm going to use Azure Afternoon. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to cut our card base, and we're going to cut it. You can basically get 2 of them out of here because you're going to cut your cardstock at 4 1/4. So put it over to 4 1/4 by 11. So you can get 2 cards out of this. So there's that. Now you're going to take one of those pieces and you're going to score it to be a gatefold card, because this is basically a gatefold because you're folding this edge over and you're gluing it down. So it's a gatefold card opening, and you're going to score this at 2 inches. So let me kind of move stuff out of the way. So at 2 inches. Okay, and then I'll need to pull my arm out because then the next one is at 7 1/2. So 2 inches and 7 1/2 inches. So bring that over at 7 1/2. Okay. So now, like I said, now we have a gatefold card. The one end, the shorter end, we're going to glue down the sides so it forms a pocket. So we will go ahead and do that really quick. And I'm going to go ahead and use my glue because I just need a really thin edge. And I can do a really thin edge with the glue. So, and then while it's setting and waiting while I do the other stuff, it'll adhere pretty good. So just do a really thin edge. There we go. push that up. Okay. Now I'm just going to set this over here on the side, and I'm putting a block on it just to hold it down. Okay, now we're going to cut some DSP for that top front section. Now I kind of wanted it is hiding a little bit, but I still do like this bottom corner because you can see a little bit of that color peeking out there. So I may do that again. And so you need to cut this piece at 4 by 3 1/4. So you'll need to remember, you'll need to measure how you're going to cut that piece. Okay, so this edge is the 3 1/4, and this is the 4. So I will go ahead and I will cut this at 3 1/4 off. It's going to be 3 1/4 tall. So I'll go ahead and stick that on there. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off this end, and this has to be 4 inches. Yep, 4 inches. So I want this end to come off because I want this end. So we'll put that in there, 4 inches wide. We'll stick those off on the side. I'm actually going to use the back piece as well for the bottom of the card. So I will go ahead and keep that out. But this is going to go on the top front of our card. So it's going to go on there like that. So I'll go ahead and let me get this edge down pretty good. Probably going to shake the camera while I'm doing that. Okay. Now for this, I'm just going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal to go around the corners and the edges. Tonight is a bit of a lunar eclipse full moon out there. It's actually kind of pretty. At least I believe I know it's a bit of a lunar eclipse because it just barely is happening here in Wyoming, but it's still very beautiful out there. Okay, we're going to just center this on this larger flap on the top. So there we go. And then look at the difference, what the colors bring out. It's that same piece of DSP, but this one kind of brings out the pinks, and this one kind of brings out the blues a little bit. Isn't it just, it amazes me just looking at it. Anyhow, so then now we're going to, oh, did I glue that piece down? I did. Oh no, I did want to. I was thinking I went too far ahead. Okay. Now we want to cut another piece at 4 by 1 3/4. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I think this will look fine. So I need to cut it at 4. And then it only needs to be 1 3/4 tall. Oh, I think I maybe like this end better, so I'll cut that end off. Oh, hopefully I got it right. I did. That I might have cut a little bit too much off. So now I'm just going to adhere that on the bottom, and you can barely see it. I could even actually put that on the bottom, and I might do that because that's even a prettier. You can really see that a lot more than you can that. I do think I'll do that. I like that. I like them both. So I will go ahead and adhere this to the bottom, to the pocket. Okay. So you're just going to want to center that on the bottom over that pocket. Such beautiful paper all the way around. I love this paper. Okay. Now we're going to, actually, I was saying you could get 2 pieces out of this cardstock, but you're going to use the second piece actually for the inside. So you're going to cut this one at 3.5 by 7. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 7. And then I will cut it to 3.5. Okay, and then we are going to score this in a Z fold, and we're going to score it at 2 inches. And then at 6.5 inches. And this little piece is going to go on the inside of the card. I believe I'm done with this. So, yeah, this piece is going to be adhered to the inside of the card. And then this piece is going to fold up. Now for this piece, I need to come over here real quick. I'm going to cut a notch in the front of this card. So see what pops out there. This is the piece that we're working on right now. So you just need to, and I'm not going to go all the way in there. I'm just going to try to center it as best I can, and just a little under half, I feel. So there we go. So you just want a nice little notch out of there. Alrighty. Now this end is going to go inside the card, and I'm going to go ahead and use my glue for it as well. And what you're going to do is, this just needs to go, I'm going to put it a bit on the top, and it needs to go in the center. So, just about there. Okay. So I'll go ahead and let my block sit on that. Okay. Now I'm going to cut some white cardstock down to, I'm not done with it yet. I'm going to cut some white cardstock down to 3 by 3.25, and this is what I'm going to stamp the inside sentiment on. So I'll cut this down. I've pretty much used up all of my little white cardstock pieces. So I'm starting fresh. So 3 by 3.25. Okay. And this is going to go in side. So I'm going to want to make sure that I'm stamping my sentiment. Yeah, I want to make sure it's taller, and that's how I want to stamp my sentiment. So let me grab my stamps. And for the inside, I'm going to use the Have a Perfectly Lovely Day. There we go. I really do love these stamps. All their little sayings and that, they're just so pretty. Okay. And since I'm doing this in Azure, I'm going to use the Azure Afternoon. Get it opened without getting it all over myself. So get that inked up. And I'm going to try to get it a little bit at the top, but in the center. There we go. Get that stamp cleaned off of there. Okay. Now, then we're going to adhere this to inside here. This is actually going to go on this piece right here, because then that's going to fold up. So I'll go ahead and adhere that. I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal for that. Okay. And this is just going to go in the middle. And then this is going to, you can adhere it on the sides if you want, or you can just stuff it down in that pocket. And then you don't really actually need to adhere the sides because they'll stay together. So there is that. That is the base of the card. Now we're going to work on the pretty little sentiment for the front. So for that, I'm going to use Grateful for You for part of it, but I am also going to use the Christmas labels. I'm going to use one of their dies. It's got some fabulous dies in there for all those shapes. But I went ahead and I've already cut it out, and I used it, cut out that Azure Afternoon. So yeah, that's got some very fancy labels to go with that. Maybe I'll add that one in next week. Okay, now for the front of the card. Like I said, I'm going to do Grateful for You. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my pencil. If I have my pencil. Oh, there he is. Okay. Take my pencil and I'm just going to draw around this stamp, because I'm going to fussy cut this stamp out, and this will make it easier. I'm not very good with fussy cutting to begin with, and then this just helps because it gives you a guide of where you're going to cut around. And there we go. So now I'll go ahead and get this inked up. So when I stamp it, I'm going to want to be sure that I go in that little spot right there. So we will get this inked up. Make sure it stamps okay. Such beautiful fonts and sentiments, I think. So there we go. Okay. Get the stamp cleaned off. I don't think I've ever shown you what I clean my stamps off on over here. It is a stamping cleaning pad, and it's well used, but it cleans your stamps off just beautifully. So that's what I have over here on the side, cleaning off my stamps. You just wet it and then rub your stamps on it when you're done, and it cleans it off just beautifully. Okay, so I will close up the ink, and I will start cutting around that. So, like I said, I'm not that great when it comes to fussy cutting, but and I may cut this so that you're not with me the whole time. Okay, I'm going to go around the very last edge with you, and since I did this in pencil, anything that I didn't get cut off very well, I can go ahead and erase those marks. That's the best part here. So we'll go through and we'll erase all those little lines that I didn't get cut off very well. That is one trick that I've seen several stampers do, that they either stamp and then draw around it, or they draw around the stamp before they stamp and then cut around that. Okay, so now we're going to take that piece and we're going to adhere it to the front of this with some dimensionals. There they are. Every time I think I have them sitting out here, they're not out here. Okay. And we can just put these as we need to, because it does pretty much follow that. So yeah, I can pretty much do the whole thing. Might try to stay there in the middle a little bit. Okay, so and then this, I just kind of followed the flow of the die, how it's at an angle. So I put that at an angle. And then we're going to adhere it to the front of the card. And then this one we're going to adhere it on the top, because the bottom is going to hang over a little bit. So let's see, I kind of want to mark with my finger. I'm just going to need to go like around there with the, and what you can do is you can do it before you put the sentiment on, and that might be easier. So then you're just going to center that sentiment on there. Okay. Now to kind of pretty it up a little bit, I'm going to use a couple of things. One of the stamps in the set is a leaf, so I did go ahead and stamp the leaf, and then it does have a die cut for it, but there's also a die cut for a leaf here. So I did cut them both out, but I'm also going to use one of these pretty gold leaves. They are woven, golden leaves. They it says that they're peel and stick, but I don't know where the sticky is on that. So, but they are kind of a metal, so you could crunch them up and make them look kind of a little more realistic in a way. give them some definition and stuff. So, but they're very pretty. So we're going to actually put these all together, and then we're going to stick those behind the sentiment over here on the side. So I'm going to use some glue dots on that. Okay. So I'm going to use it on the, I'm going to put it on here with that leaf. And then with that, I'm going to stick these to it. Okay. Here's another one for the back there. Without dropping the roll on the floor, that would help, right? Okay. And so see, there's just a nice little foliage there. And then I will do one more on the back here so that I can stick it behind the sentiment. Okay. Now for a nice ribbon, I'm using, oh, I thought I had the bag over here. It is some twine that has got the 2023-2025 colors. This is actually a balmy blue color, but there are so many colors in there. And I'm just going to tie a really simple bow with it. Just kind of a loopy, big loopy bow. Yeah, I just kind of tied it around my fingers, wrapped it, and then there. Now I got just this big loopy bow. Oh, it's right here. It was right here. Sorry, the 2023-2025 jute trim. So it's got the balmy blue, the moody mauve. I think that's wild wheat. Don't remember. And then the copper clay. So it's got those colors. But I like that balmy blue color to go on there. And I'm going to use the glue dots to put the bow on. Okay. I'm just going to stick that over there. Now I think I'm going to use the yellow in the glass dots to just add a couple of dots along here. Some little splash of color here and there. There we go. So there you go. That is a fun fold card for Tuesday. And this one I put the dots kind of in the leaves and then down there, but this one I kept them all up on the sentiment tag. But they open, and you can put a card in there if you want to, or maybe a little picture, something. But there you go. Those are the cards for today. I did one in the Moody Mauve and then one in the Azure Afternoon. So let me know what you think. Again, there is a special tomorrow, Wednesday, September 18th, is free shipping. So be sure and get in on that. And if you would like to have the kits from the projects this week, if you place a $45 order through my shopping link and use the host code, you will get the kits to make these cards. So like I said, you can pair that with the free shipping tomorrow, and then you can get Two great items. Two great things to help you with your crafting. Thank you for sticking with me this week, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday tomorrow. Bye.